Okay, here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Capacity crowd. All right. I am Kurtis Mize, and I'd like to talk to everybody today about perhaps persuading you to take a new way to look at addiction, a substance abuse problem that has nothing to do with the substance. Whoa, and I don't know how that typewriter got there. I'm a little bit embarrassed about that. I'm sorry, it's old, it's ugly. Anyway, so check this out. I work with a guy named Thomas, just say. All right, Thomas is also a 6-foot guy, about 200 pounds. He's also very good looking and he has a stunning personality. Me and Tom were basically twins, okay? So me and Tom decided to go to Applebee's after work. So we want to go grab one of their famous new pineapple Bacardi fluff, whatever the drink of the month is at Applebee's, pineapple something. Okay, we go down there, we both belly up to the bar, we order a large, of course. So we have our drinks in front of us. I drink mine, Tom drinks his. Once that is done, Tom says, "Man, Kurtis, it's really good having a drink and hanging out with you. See you later." While he's doing that and leaving, she's blending up my next one. I, Kurtis, am the alcoholic. Tom could be the normie. Tom leaves, goes back to his wife, his home, his children, whatever Tom does. I drink 1, 2, 3 more. After that, I probably get arrested or start a fight. God forbid I get in my car, maybe I slam it, hopefully into an inanimate object like a telephone pole, not a living creature. I probably most definitely would stop by the liquor store and grab some more and commence drinking at home. What the hell happened? What's the difference? So if we're talking about substance abuse, being all about the substance, that terrible juice, that fun tonic, that alcohol, if it was the alcohol, then what happened to Tom? Tom made it home. I did not. So the substance abuser needs to be, it's person-centered. The alcohol didn't have the same effect on Tom as it had on me, therefore so does the recovery have to be person-centered. This thing keeps popping up. I don't know how it got there. I'm so sorry. I know it's really weird and awkward to look at. So what is even an addict even, bro? So I put up a couple things and you could take the test. Maybe you're an addict too. There's some side effects here. Inability to stop, social withdrawal, neglecting responsibilities, intense focus, right? Emotional instability, and it takes away time from our loved ones. So, spoiler alert, we are all on drugs. That's right, we're all holding, okay? I can go deeper and deeper into this. I already did a speech about how the neurochemical of addiction works. So I'll try to digress on this a little bit, but basically, hey, we're all on drugs. Mm-hmm. So let's come to that degree. This thing keeps popping up. I like your
typewriter, phone.
I don't like it. I'm very uncomfortable with it. But all right, well, it's still there in the corner. We'll just leave it there for now. There are plenty of programs out there to help the recovering addict. There's the AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, the Narcotics Anonymous. There are SMART meetings, which I look to actually bring to Klamath. SMART meetings are more of like a secular type program, non-spiritual, more scientific based. Instead of going off of 12 steps like the NA or the AA, it goes off of 4 principles, and it's basically surrounded about life improvement and bettering yourself. There's medication assisted treatment or medicated assisted therapy, and there's also harm reduction, which I am a little bit at odds with. I can see the benefits as long as somebody is taking medication or tapering off of, say, drugs for an opiate addict. However, there's not really any harm reduction for the alcoholic. See, once I have any bit of alcohol, I will turn to more and more alcohol. See, harm reduction is something that I've been trying for years because I just wanted to be that gentlemanly drunk. I wanted to be able to have a life and a wife and a kids and a house and a job and a career and also just get drunk all the time. And that, friends, just doesn't happen. So there's a lot of different ways that are good and can work individually for the suffering addict. However, I want to concentrate on what the doctors have personally prescribed me, what the courts prescribe people, and that's Alcoholics Anonymous, thinking that this is a one-size-fits-all. Oh, you're an alcoholic? Go to a meeting. That's just going to fix it. There are a couple cliches, and let's say cliches are cliches for a reason. There is truth to them. However, if I go to a meeting and somebody says take things one day at a time again, guess what? I'm spiking the coffee and I'm leaving.
For real.
I'm just kidding. Is there a way to expedite this? Like, is there a way that we can, because the first 30, 60, 90 days of recovery is probably the toughest. Can we do it 1 month at a time? That would be pretty cool. I'll digress on that though too. Do the steps or die, people have told me at meetings. Do the steps or die. Let me tell you, if you're an alcoholic or an addict and you do the 12 steps and it doesn't work for you, you could try it again. If it doesn't work for you, then you could try it a third time. If it doesn't work for you again, you don't have a death sentence. That's absolutely ridiculous. Figure something out. Figure your own personal centered, individualized, whatever works for you, works for you. Figure out what's wrong with you besides the drink, since we already said that it has nothing to do with the drink, right? Figure out what you need to do on a personal basis and try to stick with that. See, with the 12 steps, in step 4 and 5, we go through things that called an inventory, and we figure out what your character defects are. That's to kind of say that we all don't have character defects. It's exclusively tied to the alcoholic, and we need to figure out what those key character defects are. I know in the 8th and 9th step, it goes to reaching out to people that you have harmed in the past and trying to make amends to them, not apologizing, but maybe just taking accountability for what you have done. There's a lot of shame to that. And when you say do the steps or die, do what works for me, or die, there's a lot of dogma to that. I also grabbed a pamphlet from AA one time while waiting a meeting, and it was questions that a newcomer may ask AA. And one of those questions said, if I am a drug user and not necessarily exclusively an alcoholic or an alcohol drinker, can I attend AA or be a member of AA? One word, bold letters, no. It lacks inclusivity. I happen to think this is a problem because in my times in the recovery community, I've met a lot of people that were inclusively drug addicts that prefer the AA way a little bit more. Maybe it's an older demographic, different vibe. They'd rather go to AA, and AA is just saying, hey, no thanks, bro. Just because we manipulate our dopamine with different tools, I just don't see the benefits in anything like that. With this thing, I'm seriously, I'm starting to really resent this thing. I'm building a resentment.
Maybe
You down with CBT? Yeah, you know me. You down with CBT? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with CBT? Everybody. Thank you for playing, everybody. All right, cool. All right, cognitive behavioral therapy. There's also dialectical behavioral therapy. I'm not trying to sell this to anyone. I am going to offer it as an alternative to 12 steps or other one-size-fits-all things that the courts and the judges and the doctors want to prescribe people today. Cognitive behavioral therapy, basically it's thinking about what you're thinking about. I figured out, and you may have heard this before, that I don't have a drinking problem, I have a thinking problem. And that turns out to be kind of true, because what needed to change for me, this garden variety alcoholic personally, was a psychic change, which some people could call verifiably a spiritual awakening or a vital spiritual experience. The only antidote that cures an alcoholic like me. But I call it a psychic change. I changed my perception. I changed my way of thinking more towards the positive, more away from the negative, and more towards the positive. It's person-centered. It'll work even if you're not an addict. You can get something out of this. Basically, think about what you're thinking about. And you know what? That typewriter's kind of cool, actually. You know, it's like an antique. It's a relic. It's kind of special, and I bet it still has all the working parts too. Like you can actually use this thing. You can write a story on it. you know what?
Fuck up.
This is a metaphor to my life. See, what's been happening is that I've been offered my life over and over and over again so graciously, and every time I got it back, I said, "Ew, this is ugly. Ew, this is stupid. Ooh, this is old. I don't want this." And then finally I got it back again. And I looked at myself and I said, I'm actually kind of cool. I'm actually kind of worth it. I actually have purpose. I actually still can work efficiently. And you know what? I can write my own story. That is the way that helped me, is my change in perception over the same thing over and over and over again. I finally just had a change of heart, change of mind. I had a counselor one time tell me, don't give up 3 minutes before the miracle. My psychic change happened, boom, within an instant, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. So I believe don't give up 3 minutes before the miracle, because had I been drinking 3 minutes before that happened, don't know if that would have happened. Sobriety is like eating a Reese's. There's no wrong way to do it. Okay, if you find something that works for you, forget all the dogma, forget everything else, forget what the judges and the doctors say. You'll feel it, you'll know it. There's a change in you. You can see it, other people can see it. Just get sober your way. And that's it.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.